Starting the stream. Okay. And then I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do?
Fingers are crossed.
I'm going to take my phone off the Wi-Fi just in case. Just in case.
Good idea.
And then, but I do wonder, is it going to be a new window? Because we should be streaming right now.
I'm going to check because like I couldn't use the same video, but this, we appear to be streaming, yes.
Where?
I had to actually leave the window and open up YouTube again to get back to it.
Are people commenting and stuff? Like, are they looking at us?
Yes, we have some commenters saying hello and roller coaster and,
okay.
And what?
Okay, good.
And Eternal, I hope we're good now.
Yes.
W. Watson, what's going on? Oh,
okay.
Goodness only knows. We think the computer gods are smiting us today.
Okay, okay, good. I'm seeing us. Okay, this is, oh no, wait, no. That was our 19-second stream. Where's our current one?
Look for the one where I'm doing a little finger dance.
I know, but it's not there. Well, wait, 13, hold on. 15 people watching. Okay.
Yes, that's us.
All right. Yeah, I think I had the same problem that Logan did. I was hunting around and not finding the real one. Yeah. Okay. Well, now that I'm sweating due to embarrassment, which is something that I do.
Really, I get red right here. Like my neck totally gets red and blotchy when I get embarrassed.
No, I just start sweating immediately, and like it's like a cartoon. It's ridiculous.
The buckets.
Mm-hmm.
At least you have water to replenish yourself.
Yeah. So I can sweat out more. Anyway, for those who are watching, Jesse and I have actually experienced this problem before, but it was when we were doing a test stream. One of the ones where we were trying to figure out how to stream creating the orthography, and periodically my entire computer would just shut down. It was like too much is going on, shutting down. And this is the good computer. This is the one with like more than a terabyte of space and everything. It's amazing. Anyway, I think we should have written it down. We somehow isolated what the problem was that time, and we knew to stop doing it. And we were like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. We'll move on to something else. But anyway, I always have my font program open because I always think, well, maybe we'll get to it this week, but then we never do. I went ahead and shut it down, so I think we're fine. But the thing is, I've had that same font program open the past month and a half. I don't know why it decided to have an issue right now. So anyway, sorry about that.
Because it waited until we were live, and then it was like, haha.
We had Jesse and I had a whole skit planned. We had rehearsed it.
In fact, we performed it. It just, you didn't see it.
Okay. Uh-oh. My computer is making noise again. If this thing shuts down again. Ooh. Anyway, so let's just finish the conlang in the next 10 seconds, okay? And then
done.
Then we'll call it a draw. Anyway, okay, so poll. This week's poll.
Yes, it was an absolute landslide. Basic Give only got 2 points or 2 votes, and that was the one where, like, in English, I gave Joe the money. That was the Basic Give option. That was not very popular at all. Also, not very popular was Patient Give, where you prioritize the thing being given, and then like the recipient is an adjunct. That only got 8 votes. All of the remaining votes went to Recipient Give, where the recipient is the primary argument, and what is being given becomes kind of shunted off into an adjunct phrase.
So then that's, I guess, what we're doing today. We need to figure out, first and foremost, how we're going to treat that adjunct.
Yes.
And so, of course, the first thing that we're going to need is we're going to need a form for it. Why did this come up? Oh yes, indirect object right here. Well, let's do a more basic sentence first before we get to what is this, relative clause. Okay, so we need a form for give. What do we got?
I actually am curious to know. Jasmine says we already did it for you in chat, and so I'm curious because this chat box is only showing me what the chat was, as of the most recent stream, where the computer, knock on wood, is so far working. Can someone catch me up, or catch David up too, on what you guys decided in chat? Okay, las, is that...
Las?
Or las, yeah, that would be the way to pronounce it.
It's a little similar to los, isn't it?
I think so. But that's the only comment so far. We're all... Oh, we finished the language. Wonderful. Evidentiality, internal clicks, 12 definite articles. That is beautiful. And logophoricity. Oh my gosh. This is really, really great.
Internal clicks. I love those. Hear it?
I do hear it, yes.
See? That's really
How are you doing that?
Nah. It's
But you didn't open your mouth, I swear.
Okay, so you know how the click works, right? So you got your thing right here, and your tongue does this type of thing, right? And it has a closure at the velum or the uvula, right?
Sure.
And then you release this one.
Okay.
This one you release this one.
Okay.
And
am I doing it? It's as loud as I can make it.
yeah, I think so. I think you're doing it. All right. So.
Oh, and Mike is pointing out that we no longer have Ingala. We now speak Ingala. Yeah, that was, I could not do that correctly. So that was my only attempt that you're going to hear me do of that.
It takes a little practice. But I think you can get there. And it's almost like, if you hear something a little small, then that was probably it. Now, if you had that and contrasted it with, regular clicks, I mean, it's asking for trouble right there. Oh my goodness.
That would be horrifying. Okay, so sorry. Going back, it turns out we had decided everything for you was a bit of a joke.
Okay, got it.
And I, of course, took it seriously because I do that.
Yes.
So, we needed a word for give. That was where we were, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because forgiveness is important.
Has said suggestion, weba.
Well, okay, that would be with a pre-nasalized B. Because...
Or to start with the... Right. Also, W, don't we have to have a U to get to a W?
Yeah, so that form would actually be... oh, there. Meridian wanted to say hi.
Hey, Meridian.
I have a Hawaiian dress.
And it's beautiful.
And
That is awesome. Oh, wow.
a bracelet. it was sent in by Emma.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's right. It has the name of her school. It says you're a Cook Scholar.
And see, it has
Nice.
a
And a little paw print.
No, there's two little paw prints.
And you know what the paw print is of? What animal?
Cat.
Kind of. It's a lion.
Or it could be a jaguar.
It could be, but they're the Cook Lions, so I think it's a lion. Good one.
That sounded more like a dog.
Okay.
Hi.
Bye.
High five?
Yeah.
All right. Good one.
That was a good one.
All right.
Okay, so what about wait pa with a P, which would then become weba, right?
Yeah, so there's that. That was, and then there's wepa.
Oh, that too.
So let's let's throw those
Um,
into the rock tumbler and see what comes out.
And Mike also suggested Lian, Leon.
Let's see. So with the prenasalized B, it becomes Wema. With just the P, it's Weba. And then did I hear Lian?
Yes.
I think that just Lien. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so we got Wema, Weba, and Lien. Anything grabbing you?
Way back. I kind of like.
Let me just.
Oh, we don't have a proto-language E.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. What am I doing? That's embarrassing. So.
We are off our game from having been
Yeah.
kicked off a live stream twice in a row, and so thank you for keeping us honest.
I mean, it's the same thing, right? So, it doesn't change the forms.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like all three, and I'm unfortunately seeing everybody else in the same boat. Everybody's like, I like all three.
I'm glad.
Well, no, you're not saying that, but you're saying everybody's voting for different ones.
I'm glad everybody does, because I don't like any of them. But
What?
I think they're terrible. But maybe the rabbits would like them.
Why do you think they're terrible?
It's
Weva, isn't that cute?
It's
Weva.
just my personal aesthetic, and so I need to sublimate it and say, you know what? Maybe the rabbits would think this was good sounding.
You hit that initial vowel much more pronounced than I do when I say aesthetic.
I suppose I did.
Interesting. You are being outvoted, though. People like this.
Yeah.
Oh, Wesley is leaning mildly towards Lian because it was perhaps inspired by Meridian's visit. I think actually it was suggested before her visit, but no, they were saying hello to her. And then Mike suggested what really could be Lion.
That's right.
Okay, so then Mike says, what about Tucha?
Well, I don't know. I kind of like that though. Leanne is pretty cool. How we doing?
That's a great question. It's one that we had brought up that we never fully resolved.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Finish.
Are we talking about the same thing?
I'm talking about the ly.
Oh, I don't know. That's fine. No, I'm talking about the reduplication. Where are our reduplication rules?
Oh, those are right where you'd expect them to be, which is on pages 15/16, very bottom of page 15, and it is in the vowel. I said vowel section. I meant verb section.
Okay, here we go. Let's write reduplication here, just so that
A giant one.
I can find it when I do a find. Okay. Leon. Oh, Roman, my boy. I didn't have any ending with N's today. Manu. Paga. Where is
That's an interesting question.
So this one that ends with an N, it's just a dada like that. But
what is the one? Is this a form at the bottom of page 15 as like right before the 5-step process begins? We have what became okun.
apply sound changes as if the coda were there. Do we have L becoming an N?
I know in another language it did.
Yeah, I know.
Now I have to stop and think about that.
Because we're we're going to, well, I might as well write this one down because it seems like it's going to be a good test case. We have this. And then the next step is to reduce the vowel in between those and then eventually make it disappear, and that's not an issue. So then the next step is assimilation. So we have the PK becoming a PK, but where are some other assimilatey things?
I like how you just made that into an adjective. And I'm looking, I do not see a specific rule in this language for the L becoming an N, but I may have also missed it.
Well, we never had a need to have one because
Okay.
L never came next to an N. And we didn't have L melting. We didn't do that in this one.
But didn't we have a rule for like NDL?
Yes, we did.
It came from having...
Did we? Was that this language?
That's what I'm starting to get really, like, I feel like it was this language, but then I'm also thinking, am I just confusing it with another? Okay, post-nasal lenition, NL, the other way around, became NDL.
Okay, so then Leon, and then these things are both eventually becoming Lian. Wait, what? When did we ever have an L come after an N? Because we can, can't we? Because it can be an internal coda. It can be an internal coda.
Yes, it can.
Do we have any examples?
I don't know that we have any examples, but it's rule number 14, the post-nasal lenition.
Mendlo, look at that. Yeah.
So we do. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike just pointed that out, too.
Yeah. Her name is Leah, and she's the word for recipient give. Anybody?
It
was a little bit of a stretch.
Wesley up above had... Oh, now I've just lost it. I scrolled too much. But I think it was Wesley who said, because I messed up verb and vowel. I said the wrong word. And the comment was like, verb, vowel, tomato, tomato. That's right. I like it.
This is really throwing me for a loop because we have reduced this reduplication at every step possible to a CV syllable. But it seems like we should end up with this, which is nuts. We can't do that. And so then it's like, well, what are you going to cut out? Is it going to be Linglian or the Liedlian, which we've never had? Or is it just going to be Lilian?
I mean, honestly, I don't like Liedlian. I feel like because this would be a common word, and so reduction would happen potentially more in this word than say in others. W. Watson is saying the N drops, remember?
I don't remember, but I like what you're saying. Because it makes our job easier.
I honestly like Lilian. I like the, maybe just because it sounds like Lillian, and that's beautiful.
Well, see, here's the problem here. What happened, if you're looking at this one up here that I'm highlighting, is that the N, after it affected raising, it assimilated in place to the M, and then it was a geminate, and the geminate simplified. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in all of these. But in this case, we just never have a geminate.
Right. I mean, my gut's saying Lilian. I don't know if that is. Oh, Mateus is suggesting perhaps Lydian.
Legion. Huh.
Wouldn't that become Legion? Well, not if it happened after the dia thing.
Yeah, we actually we contrast those two, I think. Don't we? I don't know. Oh, I want to see now. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Adian. And then, wait, what does that become? Oh, no, it does become a jet. Never mind. I don't know what I was talking about. Of course, because where would the jet come from? Never mind.
So Eternal asks, is the ly a palatalized L or a true palatal approximant? It would be palatalized, like Dian.
I don't think it really matters, to be honest. I just write it as palatal. It's never really been an issue.
Okay. What is your gut telling you, since I told you what my gut is telling me?
My gut is telling me that the L, the second L becomes an N.
Like Lenian?
Yeah.
And that would preserve that alveolar.
But let me see if I would still think that if it was something that was a little bit simpler. And then that becomes lend, len, lend, len, 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 len. And if it were to become an N, that would be Lenin. No. Because, no, it would never just become that. That would be weird. No. Forget it. Forget what I said. That's just embarrassing. I'm not even going to have that written there. It's embarrassing.
But weren't you... Oh, okay. Never mind. I will drop that. Well, this is a problematic form for a verb, apparently.
I think then let's just stick with this. This isn't a real word, but let's see what we would do with this, and then no matter what we think about the next one, that's what we should do. Okay, so this is going to have to be this at some point. At some point, that's going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What does this become? I'm sorry, this. What's this become?
I'm waiting for something beyond. Oh, Don Don. Yeah, Ton Ton. Oh, the NT would become
it would become
ND, I believe.
That would become that.
Yeah, ND.
But then would it, if it wouldn't further simplify for reduplication, then that wouldn't simplify either, and we're left with Lindlian.
Right. I wonder if it's one of those verbs that just doesn't get used in that form very often, so it just doesn't.
You're giving me a headache.
Was that me or a comment?
No, because that's when you'd use it.
The way you said it, I thought you were reading it off something. Who am I giving a headache?
I formed the word up here and I read it off the screen in my mind. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah. This opened up a can of worms. I mean, this is a part of conlanging where then you have to decide.
It needed to be dealt with. It needed to be dealt with because I don't think we ever dealt with this form right here.
No, we really hadn't.
Yeah. What are our examples up here? Because we had Mimislen, right? And then with the M, that just bypasses the whole issue because it becomes a geminate. You don't have to worry about it. This one that ends in an S begins with a vowel. Yeah. That one begins with a prenasalized thingy. Yeah. So, this one.
Mike, do not be sorry for suggesting it.
Yeah.
It's something that would have come up eventually. It's just one of those things that when it does come up, you think you're on a roll, and 30 minutes later, you're still trying to figure out one word.
Yeah. So, let's go take a quick look up here. It looks like all of our reduplicated forms are either, CV or... No, wait. Look at this. Imes, mes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a CVC form. Or, or a VCV form or whatever you want to call it. It's bigger than a simple VC or CV syllable. It's
right.
bigger. It's the only one, but it exists, and we know that it's right. Now, this is epenthetic. I don't know if that's a big issue. But that doesn't matter, because this was the original form, right? Mbes. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the reduplicated form. And the issue is, this consonant, it voices, yes, but it stays there because it has no reason to leave. And what that tells me is that this is the correct form, and this is the correct form, and this is the correct form.
Waiting for the highlight to show up. Okay. So Lendman, Tenden, and Lendlian.
Yeah, well, either that or it's a true Lienlian. That is, if we have no excuse for reducing this, but I think that we do, and I think I got it from this, cow bee. Let me look in the dictionary to make sure that that is actually the way that we did it. It's not in the dictionary.
Interesting you should mention that particular word, because Mike just wrote that we are earning our Kopiko.
Yeah, we are, but not yet. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. Incidentally, somebody sent me an email. This is very nice. They went through our dictionary and found everything that that we didn't add.
Oh, that is wonderful.
So
thank you.
We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we didn't enshrine this form, but essentially what we said here is that we've always favored the first element of a diphthong. In other words, we didn't pay attention to, some are falling and some are rising. We just said the first one is what counts, kind of like finish. So, I think it should be Lindlian.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And Desdenova had asked, what if a coda in causes the raising of a preceding vowel in a reduplication form and then is lost?
Yeah, that happens.
Well, specifically for the one we're dealing with.
Well, in this case, it's not lost.
Right. It was just, she was asking, or he was asking. Desdenova was asking.
I was wondering if I could drop my shoes today.
Your shoes? All right. Hold on a minute. Okay, come. Well, they're not going to be able to see it that way.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love rainbows.
Yeah, there's little rainbow shoes instead of the normal ones that you made, right? These ones are different.
Oh, did she leave already?
They can't fit me.
Look at the slippers I made.
Oh, look at those slippers that Jessie has. You made them?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's very talented. But yeah, she wanted to show you these as well.
Oh, those are amazing.
They're amazing talent boots.
I love it.
But I can't fit them. But these are only can.
All right, kiddo.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, that was just sort of a what if to get rid of another consonant. But as you had said, there's no reason to get rid of that consonant.
Yeah, there's no reason, so it stays. And of course, there's no further raising because, I is raised as high as it's going to get. Okay. So.
And that sounds much better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, do we like this form for give?
Now that we've sussed all that out.
I mean, we're stuck with it now, I think. We can't do anything else. It's too much.
I'm happy with it.
Okay.
It does not hurt my aesthetic. Pleasant.
We'll save these really wonderful words that everybody loves for later.
You're just being harsh, man.
I know. And I guess then the question is, what do we do with indirect objects? Well, the question is, or the answer is that we don't have any.
Right.
So.
But we do need to figure out what preposition is going to be used for the thing that is given.
Can I? No, we can't do that. I'd love to have a couple of examples of adpositions here.
And I feel like this needs to be one of them because that's a really important distinction to make, so that way we remember later how we're doing give style verbs.
Yeah. So don't worry, I'm gonna fix this up. And where we indent. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Slowly but surely.
The rabbit evaluated the grass that the mother gave me. Yes. Yes, the rabbit evaluated the grass that the mother gave me. That's what we want.
I guess this is in the relative clause section, so yes, it does have to be in a relative clause.
But we'll start with the mother gave me the grass. And we'll also just to have everything spelled out and everything, we'll start with the mother gave the rabbit the grass. Okay. So, Lynn, there we are. Let's do it like this. You grew up watching Dirty Dancing, right?
Of course.
And then listening to the soundtrack?
Obviously.
When you went to the beach?
No, because I did not have beaches.
We used to go to the beach in my mother's car and then put in the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, the cassette tape, and listen to it on the way there, on the way back. That was nice. Okay. Mother gave.
Now in my head, all I can hear is "Now I've had the time of my life," which immediately gives me the soaring feeling of being able to do that jump, but I could never. Also, before we finish this sentence, I want to make sure, and I'm taking note of this, Matei suggested at some point to maybe label our past YouTube live stream videos with the features discussed in them, so that way it makes it more, it makes it easier to be able to rewatch when you know which episode discusses what features.
I tried to do that a little bit, but not in any systematic way. This would be just a lovely thing for somebody else to do. It's terrible, but I know. Okay.
I think, though, a lot of our tweets specifically mentioned afterwards which features were discussed. So that at least would be the easier part of the information to define. Mm-hmm. If it's in the description, would that make it searchable?
Yes.
So instead of it having to be in the actual title of the video, if it's in the description and then you searched it, it would come up, right?
I believe so. I think it searches by description, not just by title.
Okay. Well, then I could totally.
That sounds useful.
Do
Yeah.
that.
Anyway, so all right. L'anime. Okay, l'anime nada. L'anime nada. That's it. L'anime nada. Blank idulu.
Okay. I'm ready. Blank.
Let's see what kind of prepositions we've got. Okay.
I'm not, based on my memory of what we already have, I'm not feeling any of them.
Yeah. So help me. So help me. I just want to bold and italic. I don't want to. Okay. Lu is to, right? To or towards.
Yeah.
And that was in sight of.
Preposition list.
Is at, and that comes from. Where does that come from?
One moment, I'm trying to find our preposition list. No, it's here somewhere. Why did I do this? Okay. Nope. Nope. Where did our, there it is. Okay, I found it. Your question was, that came from face.
Face, got it? No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, what else have we got if you're in that area?
Okay, so a lot of our lative forms come from lu.
Sure.
We've got womb for inside, flea for on top of.
But no, I mean, give me the whole thing. You know, give them to me.
Yeah. Inside.
Right. That's womb. Okay, I got that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Z is on top of.
On top, that's flea.
And then we have like into is lushu.
Into. Lushu.
And onto is luzi. I don't think we would want out of or away from, right? Like that just doesn't seem.
How did we get lushu?
Lushu is toward, which was lucy originally from C, and with inside, which was the oos.
Where's the?
I think.
How is it becoming a sha? Lucy, oos, lucius, lushu. That's it. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Sight of the womb, of, yeah. Okay, and then after into we get. Well, we had onto, right?
I just got like attacked by a major fly.
Okay.
Onto was luzi, with the stress on the Z.
Luzi, yeah, and that's okay, and that's in the side of the flea on. Okay. What else? What are our oblative ones?
Well, we have out of and away from.
Okay. Yeah, oblative and elative. Go ahead and give them to me.
Linus, with stress on the use.
Linus.
Linyus. That's out of. And away from is linya. Linya. Stress on the ya.
Out of. And then linya. Away from. And this one also doubles as our instrumental. And okay, what are the etymologies of linus? It's leaving, right?
Right.
Can't believe we made both of those begin with L.
There's not an etymology written here. I would assume it comes from inside and something else. Oh, it came from leave. We had a verb meaning to leave, like lean something.
Yeah. But it's leaving the womb.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't have begun with L. That was a poor decision. Then what is linya? Is it just leaving the face up?
I'm guessing so, because that's the only kind of word that we have. Oh, here it is.
Mike,
here
no,
it is.
because it's, remember, the recipient is already the direct object. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, the recipient, yeah. But we still need to be able to have a phrase for the thing being given. We have lunfa becoming limhe, and that's to leave or exit. And so limhea became limya, became linya.
Yeah.
That is. I found that in one of our mini notes.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so the mother gave to the rabbit. Okay, let's start eliminating. I'm going to eliminate Lou. I think it makes the least sense.
Yeah, because the grass is so much easier in terms of like cognitively thinking through what preposition, especially from the prepositions we already have, would go with the recipient. But because we don't need to mark the recipient, I'm having a bit of a mind-bendy moment to think of what would make most sense if you say, I gave the rabbit.
Yeah.
How would you mark the grass moving from you to the rabbit?
Yeah. Also, just if you think about the etymology of it, you would be say like the mother gave to the rabbit inside of the grass, or seeing the grass. That's almost more of a cause, which is something we may want to hang on to down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the mother gave to the rabbit, the face of the grass. I mean, that's a maybe.
I'm almost, at first I blew them both off, but now cognitively I'm almost leaning towards out of. Like I have a pile of grass and I'm pulling out of it and I'm giving you.
That's problematic. Let's do something else then.
Okay.
What's something really super basic, totally patientive, and obviously a thing that we have? Like, do we have a word for ball? Or like...
Ball?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, like, or tree stump, or stick, or anything like that.
We do have a stump. We have a stump.
Okay.
Imainu.
Stump. Gave the rabbit the stump. Imainu. All right, so now this thing is like all one thing, all right?
And so it can't be given out of, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
At least not in that way. I mean, it still could work, but I just want it to be like, we're actually engaging with the verb and the transfer of ownership, I guess, rather than being distracted by the nature of grass.
Right, and that's actually good because some of the other suggestions I saw in the live chat, I think we're going in the same direction as I was with that idea of something was passed on to somebody else.
Yeah.
Dark Horse asked, what about using a verb like revealed?
I don't follow that one at the moment. So anyway.
Super Hasan asked, maybe what about some sort of with as like instrumental? Like I gave the rabbit, and how did this happen? With
yes, that was
this thing.
That was my initial idea. Recall that our instrumental is derived. It's just zero derived from away from. So
did we have an instrumental?
yes, remember this is a poll a couple of weeks back.
Okay.
Where we decided
Because there was a note in here about instrumental, but then I couldn't remember if we had actually.
Yes.
Yeah, here it is. Also instrumental. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one's, I think that's an obvious solution. I'm just not sure if it's the best one. But as you can see, like, I had the same notion with ah, like that ah still made sense. So I think this is also still going to make sense. Yeah. And I think for a source, because there's always the question of like a stump from his grandfather or something like that. The mother gave the rabbit the stump from, the stump, the mother gave the rabbit the stump from her grandfather. In other words, like, her grandfather gave her a stump to give to the rabbit. And so I was thinking that maybe our relative would make more sense for that than use.
Okay, so like
this part.
Okay. So are you feeling okay with the línea?
Well, here I'm gonna. Logan has brought up an interesting idea. We don't have a comitative at the moment, I don't think, right?
No.
Yeah, we don't. Okay. What page was I on? 15? Somewhere relative clausey, right? So,
that'd probably be about 16 or 17.
Here we go. So that's another idea. So we have potential, like, let me see if I can write this.
A couple other suggestions too, if you did want to go a verb route, something like carry, like I gave you, carrying the stump.
Yeah. I mean, I almost hate to do that. It's a simple solution that would work. I'd hate to do that because it would cause us, I think, to totally redo how we did our prepositions. Because if you had carry, then like, and you were using that, you could just wait a minute. Because rabbit is the object. It's the object. It's the absolute of argument.
This live stream is exciting as we think in the words of Pooh.
And he received. Because if you follow the logic, right, if you said something like this, the mother gave to the rabbit and received. No. Basically, and this is the rabbit. X is the rabbit.
Right. Couldn't you have some sort of modifier to say, like, the mother gave to the rabbit a received stump? Like something to say the stump was received, essentially?
Yeah.
To take away the weirdness that it wasn't the mother who received.
It's no, like the mother is just an adjunct, so it wouldn't be a part of it.
Okay, so Mike got so excited I dropped my pen. Mike says maybe we could disallow prepositional phrases modifying nouns. So therefore we would require a participle or relative clause instead. So the mother gave the rabbit from the stump, being owned by the grandfather.
Wait. I don't know. It seems to work just fine now.
Arturo said maybe the mother gave to the rabbit and lost the stump.
Right, but we're getting confused with something here. Here, I'm gonna try to do it like this. Remember, if you were to do this, the mother gave to the rabbit and left. The person that left is the rabbit, not the mother. Remember that. So the mother's not a part of this at all.
I keep getting attacked by a bug over here. Sorry if you see me waving around.
Yeah. So like this is really crucial right here. The mother's not a part of this at all.
Okay.
So like the suggestion that Arturo has simply wouldn't work.
So it could be something like and received or and.
Well, there again it wouldn't, because that would be Z, right? And that would be a Z argument if you're talking about gain, because yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's just a bigger construction if you're talking about like let's say that you were going to do something like this. The mother gave to the rabbit and like was happy because of Z, right? Because of what they got or something. Now you've got a verb and you have another adpositional phrase where the unstated argument here is, co-referenced with the rabbit. But like now you got two things instead of one thing.
Apparently, Isaac had an idea about at and with the, I say commutative, I know that's wrong, comitative form, be the same, and Super Hasan says they're the same in dialects of Norwegian. So if we just wanted to do like in the face of something like that. And yeah, W. Watson, ergativity. Mind bendy for me too. So many interesting suggestions going on. I'm trying to keep up.
Just de novo, and then we need that verb. And we don't have such a verb.
Mm-hmm. You had to make a decision right now, David.
Arturo, there again, that doesn't work because, again, the have part there is an ergative argument as you're stating it, not absolutive. And it's the absolutive arguments that, so it'd be like in the stump is had, I guess? Yeah, that's well, now Super Hasan, I know that you're saying you don't confuse people and places, so comitative and locative can be the same. However, in this instance, we're talking about using a comitative argument to indicate the patient that's being transferred in a giving situation, so it's not actually a person. It's being used with the stump, remember? And what we would be giving up is allowing us to state where the giving is happening. In other words, like the mother gave the rabbit
in the warren
a turnip on the stump while they were both on the stump. We'd be giving that up.
I just want to throw out the turnip and stump now. You can never say what was given. It is always a mystery. All right, so to recap.
No, we don't have an anti-passive yet. Or wait, no, we do, don't we? No, we have the reflexive. It's just kind of the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I really feel like I'm almost there. I just need to.
Okay.
Just need to do some. That was good. So what are we talking about? So rabbit received of the mother.
I feel like that was an exciting guess.
I think it should be into.
Okay, that was one that I hadn't even considered. I would love to hear your thought process.
Well, I rewrote it the way that the logic of the sentence works.
Okay.
Which is that, I mean, this is probably not really an appropriate way to write that based on what we're actually doing here. It should be something like the rabbit received of the mother stump. Because the thing that's important here is that the rabbit, right, is receiving.
It's kind of a privileged
It's
argument.
gaining, right?
Yeah.
Is becoming a gift, is becoming a recipient.
You say gift to eat?
And so it's like, I don't know, it was just like, so I was coming, you know, like sometimes you could say, you know, I came into money. That was kind of like where I was going. So it's like,
Okay.
a rabbit is leaving a state of not having a stump and is traveling into a state of having a stump.
That is interesting.
I think it makes sense, but it's like,
I actually like that.
yeah, it's the ergativity that confuses things, and I know that we've fallen victim to this before, and it'll happen again. But
Oh, sure. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think
Blue Shoe Gang it is.
I think that oh, we do have verbs that became prepositions.
Yeah.
I see that, I mean, a lot of them did come from nouns. That is very true. But all of the verbs that have lu or lin as part of them are derived from verb forms. So that does happen in this language.
Yeah. Now, Evan asked a very good question. Would rabbits use into to denote becoming? Right. And that's definitely a question that we can talk about right now. Because, and this might have to be informed by the decision of a previous poll. Now, this is just what I did because it made sense to my mind, but it's not necessarily what needs to be the case. We have into, we have onto, and we have regular to. Now, I didn't want to use this because it didn't make sense from the etymological standpoint. Inside of. So I mean, I understand that, yeah, to definitely makes sense, but this inside of I'm less comfortable with, and the idea is that this verb would be pretty old, and so I think that meaning would still be there for that one. These are newer, yeah. Right. So into versus onto, we talked about on the grass. But I feel like the pertingent part of this means less affected. What do we have as our alienable possession marker?
That one was
Interesting. Right. That does kind of make sense to you. Wow.
Should it just be
No. But what I was thinking was, like, if is an alienable possession, it might not necessarily become a comitative, but it might become it might get used the same way that chez gets used in French, where chez can mean at your place.
Okay.
Anyway. All right. Well, I actually think that to can be used as a benefactive because of its meaning here. So in other words, just like, you know, I made a house and it's you use to for it as for, but it's because it's like I did this inside of you, and presumably if they didn't stop you, that means because they liked it. So if you do something inside of somebody else, you did it for them by extension.
What are some of the earliest things that you think that rabbits would give each other?
I mean, obviously not carrots, since there's this whole issue with rabbits and carrots.
Only
desserts.
if you want to slightly poison someone.
Now, I thought that the carrots were desserts, but maybe I misremembered that.
I thought it was if they had too much, it was bad for them. So, like, would kind of mess with their stomach.
Just like ice cream.
Sure.
Because I eat the heck out of that, and let me tell you, my body does not like it one bit.
And yet. You give yourself ice cream.
Or a sassafras root. They could give each other a sassafras root.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so would they be things that they would ingest?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I think was bothering me, and it was partially because the stump, right? Where it's like, it didn't make sense to have that meaning of womb being inside for something like stump. But if in the earliest days, really what they were giving each other was food, because they're helping each other out, they're helpful little rabbits, soon to be big rabbits, then I feel like that would make sense, because you're receiving it and then you would be eating it, therefore it would be literally in the womb of kind of meaning. I may be completely overthinking that, but that makes me happy with Lushu.
Okay, I think you're flipping the arguments there, because
I probably am.
yeah, it's more metaphorical in nature, in that, like, you are becoming a receiver into something. Like, think of artwork, you know? It's like you're becoming a person that has artwork, you know, fancy artwork, right?
I guess that almost seems too metaphorical then for an old construction to be in the womb of a state of being.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
I mean, I know that languages do wonderfully metaphorical things that are ancient, but I think just because this is our constructed language that, you know, only started its life 4 months ago, it's hard for me to get into that mindset of the rabbits, of the metaphorical state of beings.
Imagine this. There's like, you know, they have the warren, right? But then there are, like, you know, rooms where you don't go, or little holes that you don't go into. And, you know, this rabbit comes to you and says, I have a surprise for you. Go into this hole. And suddenly you go into the hole, and there are an entire
Everybody's saying an entire what? Cliffhanger.
Dang. It still says I'm streaming.
Oh, here we go. I think we're back. It just came back on my computer, so maybe we're back. Okay, yeah, they're saying we're back too. All right, so
Yeah.
that is wonderful. Okay, so an entire what? You were in the middle of saying an entire...
So look,
boom.
It's like an entire little cavern of magical turnips that just taste really wonderful, and they do nothing to your little bunny tummies.
Bunny tummy?
Yeah. And so you just went into it, right? And it's like, now you're in this place where you have become the owner of all of these magical little turnips, right?
So they were very trusting back then.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Because in my head, if you told me, I mean, like, especially if I didn't know you and you told me come with me to this...
I don't know, but if it was
hole
you,
in the
Jesse,
ground, I would not follow.
If it was you, I mean, wouldn't you though? You don't strike me as very canny or wary. Is that the word I want? No, wary, I think is wary.
I think are you thinking leery/wary?
I don't know. What I'm saying is that if I
don't seem very careful.
Yeah, or like, you know, I'm just imagining if there was some, let's say a fox that came along and said, "Hey Jesse, come with me," you would immediately follow that fox.
Well, if the fox were speaking, of course, I would need to find out more about this talking fox.
Absolutely. And he'd be like, "Jesse, don't worry, we're just gonna go into this hole. I have a surprise for you."
Okay, I would call it quits there.
But they're magic turnips, Jesse.
Okay, so I think I totally feel what Jasmine wrote, and that is that I get it and dig it conceptually, but not syntactically. And so I think that that's part of the problem with prepositions in general, is they only make sense once you know them in a language. So if you really think about prepositions in any language and where they came from historically, is
Well,
is kind of a mind game.
I was just thinking of the general, metaphor. States are containers, right? Emotions are containers. And thinking that, like, what are we talking about when we're talking about this rabbit, like, receiving something? And it's like...
So states for them are rabbit holes. They're not containers. They're rabbit holes.
Yeah, and you can go...
And so you enter the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And so it's like...
There we go.
What this giver is doing for you is they're taking you from one state into another. And I very much thought of the rabbit holes. And so that was why I went with into as opposed to onto.
So, I think we need to make it Lushu. We're good.
Nice. So now we've made this decision and we don't have to think about it anymore. We don't have to remember why.
No, never. Never do we need to remember. Except I'll make sure I note that episode 119 was the great discussion of the metaphorical rabbit hole.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then, Ling Lian.
Mateus, I agree. We are several rabbit holes deep at this point.
Okay. Here we go. Lian. And the reduplication is that. That's funny. Yeah. My mouse is going a little wonky. Why must I always forget?
And
there it is. Yes?
We will, after this, gloss a sentence, so that way we have it all together.
Yeah, to give, to receive, giver.
Oh, we now have 3 people either asking or telling us that we've earned a Kopiko.
Yeah, we did it, yeah. Okay, giver, giver takes, and, givey is the, absolute argument, and the given thing is preposed by Lushu. All right.
Preposed by.
That's a word.
That's nice.
And
I didn't say it wasn't a word. I was just saying that's nice.
Okay. To give, and then...
Oh, have we, and by we, have I forgotten to add numbers a couple of times?
What do you mean? I mean, did
to
you?
That number chart.
How are we going to keep track of how many words we have if we don't?
I know, but I'm suddenly thinking I may have forgotten last time I entered an entry.
I'm going to need something to, Just
a second. I gotta grab over for mine.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you've earned it, if you've not been adding the numbers. I mean, my
You
goodness.
know what? I made it through this discussion. I think I earned it. This was deep. Perfection.
Oh.
Cheers.
Kopiko. Heaven in rectangular form. Mm.
In rectangular form.
Okay. Wow. Now then.
By the way, in case anyone's wondering, I've learned to eat it straight from the package. Otherwise, my fingers get sticky and I can't get it off. I don't know how you deal with that. Ooh, Mike has some Kopiko. Well, never mind. I don't know if Mike actually has it. I just know that it was found at a local store. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And Dark Horse, we do not yet have a word for cat.
Well, we had a discussion about it, didn't we? because somebody asked, like, was that the canon word for cat? And I don't remember what it was or if it was.
Well, we left an example sentence with cat in double parentheses in all caps to remind ourselves that we need to put the word for cat into it.
Yeah. So, Evan, they were going to be entirely ancillary, just world building. Like, so just for names, and of course all the names are going to be done in the scripts. And then also the names of the various classes are going to be entirely in the language, so that it's like there aren't rangers or knights or anything like that, but they're actually just words in the various languages. And so it's just 100% flavor. I'm doing this for Virginia Woolf. By the way, somebody else asked a question last time that I never got back to. And I don't remember what the question was, but it had something to do with the game. And either that or...
apparently decided... Sorry, go on.
Mm-hmm.
I got sidetracked. Loma is our word for cat? Like 6 people have said it now.
Can you do a search and find it?
What's that?
Can you do a search and see if Loma comes up in our document somewhere?
It does not at all.
Okay. And then...
Okay, please finish your story now. I am so sorry.
I don't know what my story was. It wasn't...
You were talking about...
Oh, Roman. It was supposed to be in honor of Roman. I see.
Oh, we did not notate that.
No, but the question was if they would just come up with a word for them, or if it would be derived from something, like Bitey Boys or something.
Mm-hmm.
Little Roman, what a sweetheart.
Okay, so thank you all for filling that in for us.
Anyway, it could be Loma,
So
or it could be Loman, like with an N, and then it would become Lomen. Lomen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the idea of cats being cousins. Kind of like the way mice are friends. Okay, so Lien. How do we do Lianun? Except it's going to be Lianun, isn't it?
One moment. And I still feel really bad for interrupting you. That the Loma thing just took me by surprise, and I shouted it out, and you were in the middle of talking about the game, and it was about something somebody said last time, and you meant to get back to it.
Yeah, but I forgot what the question was.
And now I've killed it. I am so sorry.
I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I mean, other than go back to the video and rerun the commentary.
If anyone remembers what David was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, what form do you need? I'm at the chart.
First person singular, and I want to make sure that the do for an N final form. I want to make sure that the raising is indeed undone.
It is, because it's mislanun instead of mislanun.
Perfect. So kayalo edulo dilianon ada lushu sas nime, except it should be N. N ime. That should be N up there, because sas ends with an S. Okay.
Okay, so Evan said you were talking about how the languages will be used in the game.
Okay. Oh, okay, right. So that was the same question then. Okay, so hopefully I answered that now. Arturo asked a good question, and indeed, no, that is not always the case. He asked if the ergative clause is always going to be separated out this way. And no, heavy shift can indeed move things around. For our relative clause examples, I wanted to just leave them basic. But yeah, if one or the other of these things starts to get too big, things will absolutely shift. That can't be avoided. Okay, so now we have that example. we don't really have a place. Maybe we can go back to the noun section and do just a little example of not demonstratives. We did noun possession, noun function. Oh, but that's so boring. I want to write that up.
Did we have any just examples with the prep? I don't think we actually had a preposition example. Arturo asks, will the ergative element get in between the relative clause and its antecedent, or will it move to before the antecedent?
I was thinking it would be moved to before, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. There's our relative clauses. Okay, so the rabbit evaluated the mother that waited. Kayala ada hima anime. Yeah, no, absolutely. I would say the place that it would jump to is right after the verb. However,
I would argue the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to use the language more to see, because you're asking if it's going to do the type of thing that English does, you know, in a non-standard way, but which nevertheless you can do. What was the example I came with? Did you like that example I came up with, Jesse? Remember?
Which one?
I don't know. But what would a good example be? It would be something like,
Are you saying something like, I talked to that guy the other night who I met in class? Where the
yes,
relative clause
there you go.
gets
That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Yeah. Yeah. And so in this case, it would be something like, you know, the rabbit evaluated the mother. So it would be evaluated the mother, the rabbit, and then who waited. I mean, that would be hard to resolve, I think. That would be really hard to resolve. Maybe with that specific example, maybe you could get by with it if it was much more obvious which one that relative clause should be modifying. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But I think it'd be a lot easier to just take the whole ergative phrase and put it right after the verb. I don't know. A good question, though. It's something that we're going to have to look at as we start using the language. So I'm going to make my little note here. Ingala is an ergative absolutive language. This means that the absolute...
people had said, yeah, like German, they do this all the time, and Arturo gave the example, ich habe einen Mann kennengelernt, der sehr nett ist, and that same idea that it gets pulled to the end.
Can you say kennengelernt? Is that a real verb?
Yeah, to get to know.
Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. You and your German.
German's awesome. Okay, so, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm saying this right. Isaac. Is that how you say it? Isaac? Making sure I'm saying the username correctly. It was changed to an IPA pronunciation. Okay. I'm sorry, you keep typing. I was just making sure I shouted that out to make sure I pronounced that right.
That was the argument.
But yeah, kennenlernen.
That's adorable.
It's a great verb. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so Isaac.
The previous word. Leave out. It seems like we should have already... Did we just put this in the verb section? Is that what we did?
Which one? Sorry, the n/nime.
I just don't understand why we hadn't written this in our grammar already. It's so weird. I thought we did too.
Oh, there's a whole set of examples on 19/20. I think we just did it. Interesting.
Sure, but we didn't actually write it. That's the place where it needs to be written. That's embarrassing. Okay, whatever. Here are two examples.
That was such an integral part too. I just assumed it was written somewhere.
Okay, give me a sentence with a transitive verb.
Oh, just to like.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want something that we've used before, or do you want like
nice applesauce project? I don't know. Yeah, it can be something we used before. I don't care. Just something.
Because if we can use something, we can say things like the rabbit touched the berries with its whiskers, or the rabbit ate grass.
Let's hurry up and finish the entire language so that when Jasmine comes back, be like, surprise, you missed it all.
Done. So we have Calbiasas edunime, which is the rabbit ate the grass.
Calbiasas, edulu, ime. Yes. Okay, now we need, okay, the rabbit ate the grass, and now we need the rabbit to eat something that ends in a consonant.
And when I say done, I mean just wait for a moment, please. While I try to find. Wow. We sure like things that end in vowels.
We do, don't we?
Oh! Can we just eat the sassafras tree? Because that's edzalis.
Edzalis?
Oh, sorry, I did the stress wrong.
Edzalis. And that's plural, right? Or is it? Is that plural or singular?
Well, it's the same form either way.
Really?
Yeah.
Then let's.
It's like enaigu, which is a zero plural because it's edible. The way that it becomes plural, you don't actually see the plural on it.
Well, this one's going to be plural, so that there's a minimal difference here. The rabbit ate the sassafras trees. Perfect. Okay, good.
Like I was going through just trying to find something else that ended in a consonant in case you asked for more.
Oh, Zeus. There it is. River, right there. Ah. Oh,
yeah,
well.
but do you eat a river? Our sentence was eat.
With a knife and fork.
Yeah. Arturo said that's one hungry rabbit. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so really quickly, this isn't really quick. If, however, you want to at any point delve into something you said on your website, Desdenova would be happy to hear more about how you said that no language is 100% ergative or 100% nominative accusative. And so if you have time, could you clarify was the question?
That's more of a claim and that I'm going to stand by. But, you know, it often has to do with there's some area of the grammar that is one way or the other. Like how English has the weird absolutive suffix ee. So like, you know, An escapee is somebody that escapes, but a nominee is somebody that's nominated. Excuse me. A nominator is somebody that nominates somebody else. And so that is a little bit of ergativity that exists in English for apparently no reason.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
And also, though, then it becomes the recipient when it's the giftee, because the gifted thing to the giftee. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I need to think about this.
Mm-hmm. We came to it. We came by it honestly, because we stole it from the French. All right. There are no ditransitive verbs in English. Instead, other roles co-occur with what do you call it? Prepositions. Here is an example, and we are going to give. We're going to do our give example. So, Lien, Ime, nada. The mother gave. And then we don't need to be doing stump. What's something else that's nice?
Well, I was thinking, just a second, because I was like, I'm ready. Oh, what about gave the rabbit clover or evening primrose?
Ooh, clover I like. Can we do that?
Of course we can do that. And I would assume, would the mother only give one little clover plant or a bunch of clover?
Let's do a bunch.
Then Emile.
Emile. That's a nice word. The mother gave the rabbit some clover.
And also, in case anyone is wondering, yes, I do have a very strong American accent when I speak any foreign language.
Really?
Including German.
Warum?
Yes, because someone actually commented on, it's weird to hear German spoken in an American accent. It's like, yeah, I've tried very hard to get rid of my accent in other languages, and it stays with me.
It's hard when doing a German accent to decide on which one you're going to do. First of all, you need to know them, and then you need to decide, I'm going to do this one.
My husband is a whiz at accents, and it just drives me crazy because he can just do them, and I'm like, ugh, I try, and like I hear it in my head, and then what comes out of my mouth is
it's here, it's in your throat.
Bizarrely different.
It's in your throat. It's just like shifting on a car.
That's just all apparently garbled.
Okay. Good.
Do we need another one?
I mean, probably, but that's good enough for right now.
Okay.
So let's stick with that, and instead.
And that one is not going to elide, like it's not going to become Luce Mile, or.
No.
Okay. Just thinking.
Yeah, I know. It's a good question to ask. Okay.
Oh, in Arturo, I always say ich with that phrase, the velar fricative, or actually ich would be further forward, so that would almost be like a palatal fricative. But yeah, there is the ich, but then there's also, I've heard ish, which I don't know why bothers me. Now, why I should be allowed to be bothered by any pronunciations in any language ever, I don't know why. But
Warum? Das ist nichtlich.
Das ist nicht gut. Nicht, not nicht.
Nein, nichtlich. Niedlich. Die niedliche. Oh, brother. I just had a little Copico moment there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I love it. Isaac the Destroyer. I go back and forth between no accent and deep appellation.
Oh my goodness!
My home dialect is an Ozark dialect. So
is there really a word in German? Lustig. Lustig.
Lustig.
No, lustig. Yeah.
No, it would be pronounced with an S. Lustig.
What? Why?
It's not lustig. It's lustig.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought the ending was just IG.
What's it?
Well,
you were asking about the sh, right? Like you wouldn't
yeah.
say lustig.
You wouldn't say lustig? Why
no,
not?
It'd be an S there.
Why?
The sh only happens on onsets of syllables.
Yeah.
Like student.
Oh, wow.
And that one would be a coda.
Okay. Lustig. That makes sense. All right.
Oh, and Ozark is a region that is southern Missouri and northern Arkansas, the Ozark Mountains. And where I grew up was at the very northern part of the Ozark Mountains. The ice cream truck is back. Delights me. In the northern part of the Ozark Mountains and country roads, you did not get ice cream trucks. Even as an adult, I want to go chase it down.
All right. Next, we should do these.
Sorry. Focus.
We should do WH questions next. Because
West Virginia, that's a good accent. Okay, sorry. Yes, the questions. The truck wants my soul. Yeah, it does. And it wants David's stomach to pay.
Yeah. Just selling poisons door to door.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, first and foremost,
Uh-huh.
maybe because I have been mind bent in so many other ways in this language, I want these WH words to be in situ.
Okay.
In situ.
Yep.
In situ?
Yeah,
in situ.
In situ. And Egala. I mean, I'm just not even gonna put up a fight with that one.
Oh, that's what Mike said too. Let's not front these words. Just replacement. Yes.
WH words occur in situ. The examples are given below. All right. So, now the bigger question: what are they gonna be?
I think who is going to be what?
Well, whatever they're
What
going to
is
start
gonna
with,
be
who? They better not start. They better not start with L. That's all I can say.
It's going to be lu, lat, lot. Okay. What is a common source for these words in terms of grammaticalization?
I mean, they're always just compounds. But they're usually starting with a WH word that is very, very basic. So start with some element, and then, what rabbit, what thing, what place, what time, and so on.
Sure.
But we can take a quick little look-ski at WH wordiness. But what do they call them here? They don't call them WH words. What are the other terms for WH words?
Interrogative pronouns?
Yes, that's probably more likely. Nothing. Yeah, I don't see a lot of sources for interrogative pronouns here. I think that it's really just basic. The little questioning part is really basic. And then it's just compounding after that.
Okay, so Mike was pointing out that lice is our question word. our little question particle for the yes/no questions.
Yeah.
And so asked, what about doing lice plus a basic noun? So like laissez-moi or lice plus thing, lice plus place. I can't remember.
Well, let's find.
Words.
Let's find. So that's come from here. Yeah, it comes from here. You heard that. You heard. So in other words, you hear that. You hear that he ate a thing, and then the response would still be yes or no, right? Because it's still a yes/no question. And then you'd say yes and insert what he ate.
Mm-hmm. Did we forget about this giant note that said negated yes/no questions next week with a heart?
Darn it.
Is that going to be episode 120?
I don't want to do that right now. I'd have to remember how to negate. Negated yes/no questions. Did the rabbit fall? It's right there.
That's not negated.
No, it's not.
Negated
What am I
would be
talking
didn't the
about? I'm
rabbit
sorry.
fall?
What am I talking about? No, there's no negation in there whatsoever. Right. That's what we call past tense.
It's this magical thing. I think what you were thinking was the obvious answer was no.
Of course not.
What rabbit would fall? Okay.
Yeah. And of course we don't
So,
have
we have a couple people saying, you just said it shouldn't be another L word, and then we're talking about using lice.
Yeah, so
obviously an L word.
I know, but in this case it already exists, and it's just it only exists because for yes/no questions, and we were talking about. So it's like turn them all into yes/no questions, and replace our WH words with basic words like thing, rabbit, and so on. And then, but it still feels like that would be a yes/no question, yeah.
It would be, and also I fear that unless something really drastic happened in terms of reducing the actual words through that grammaticalization process, it would be really difficult, especially if they're in C2, to be able to tell the difference between saying like, did a rabbit fall versus who fell?
No,
because it would essentially be the same thing.
Yeah, or to another example, did he eat anything versus what did he eat?
Right, right. And they would be the same, and that to me is not conducive. And so if we used lice, I wouldn't want it out front. It would almost be like the compounding kind of thing, like laissez-moi.
Yeah.
But that also feels big. Ooh,
Well,
I wonder, could laissez-moi become... No.
Well, let's do this then. I think then a potential poll question would be an open-ended one to ask our patrons to come up with a phonological form for the basic WH element.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll just use it to build some WH words.
I like it.
All right.
And we'll also get back, because it'll be a question week, we can get back to the negated yes/no questions.
Well, I was actually thinking we could try to solve that little thing right now. Right now. I mean, because we can do this. We created this. We can do this, right?
We've got this. We've got this.
What is negation?
Also, Mike had suggested, what about tell me as sort of a compound, like you went tell me place? Which is kind of fun. But that also, I think, would be difficult given the ergativity. That's just me, though.
Unless it was a verb where the object was, the person being told, then yeah, that could work. I would love to see if that has ever been done, if there's ever a language where that has some sort of an etymology like that, because that would be That would be interesting.
Be fantastic.
And bear in mind that would, since it's not a relative clause, but it is a modifier, it would need to come afterwards, right? So it would need to be please tell me.
Because
it's a modifier.
Right, yeah.
The tell me plays. I mean, you should know all about this. Aren't you from the show me state?
I am from the show me state, and that very obviously in English we can shove show me right in front of a noun and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm from a state that's literally called the Golden State, and you get stuck with the show me state.
I mean, and when you think about it, what a weird slogan. We're known for not believing people, I guess.
Yep.
Show me. It is glorious, though, Mateus. Missouri is glorious. My husband doesn't think so, but I do.
There was a good barbecue place. I went to a good barbecue place there. I have one I'll remember. I went to 2 good barbecue places in Missouri, actually. Good stuff. Anyway, so how does negation work?
Well, first we have to decide what's being negated. Is it the lice being negated, or is it the verb following the lice?
Hold on. Let's do this. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna paste it temporarily. Okay. The rabbit ate the grass. The rabbit did not eat the grass.
Okay. That actually helps.
Okay.
Oh, this is why it was going to be a thing, because negation came from another verb form.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't it come from to fall?
Yep.
Ugh. Fall, and then we have the rabbit fell right up there.
Standard question. Lie. So just lie. Kalbiasas. Did the rabbit eat the grass, right? That's correct. Lie kalbiasas. Lie kalbiasas edulu anime. Oops. Lie kalbiasas edulu anime. Edulu anime. Having a lot of trouble.
Work on that pronunciation.
Really having a lot of trouble today. All right. So
mine is obviously perfect. Okay, so Arturo is saying, reminding us that we had 2 types of negation, and one turned the sentence nominative accusative and the other didn't. And Mike was saying the difference was between the intransitive, transitive, or copula versus other verbs. So I'm going to just scroll down to negation to remind myself more.
By down, do you mean up?
I sure do.
All right.
Up is down, down is up. And
yeah, tell the rabbit.
oh, that is true. Where did we get?
Did you hear?
Oh, because it's
the same thing.
O versus osas.
It's the same thing. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Check it out. Did the rabbit not eat the grass? Very simple. I mean, that's it. You just put lie in front.
Okay. That is one heavy, and then it's still, we put lie in front, which carries conjugation.
Not
So would
really.
be,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't carry conjugation. It's well, it kind of
Oh, it
does,
doesn't.
but it's always second person, right? Remember?
because it's did you hear?
Yeah, but it's a defective verb, and so it's just did you hear that the rabbit failed to eat the grass? You know, and
Right. So, okay, so my double check though is after lice, since I'm in the wrong area, we left the verbs fully conjugated, right?
yes,
Yes, okay. So, because up when the negation, the verbs that followed lost the conjugation. And so I was just making sure. Then, yeah, that works. You're right. We just stick lie and lice up front.
yeah. Now, I suppose there's a top level question of this: if this thing can be negated, did you not hear?
Right.
But it still exists in its own little separate universe. So we can decide if we want to negate that thing. And that would be. Okay, what was wet? What was here?
It is just low.
So it would
L, schwa, U is the base form.
So it would be huelo.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, huelo.
So, like, didn't you know that the rabbit fell?
Yes, that's a thing. There, and then negated. I don't even know how to call that. And then this would be negated. I don't even know what to call this, but this is standard. Because you could also do this. Wasn't it the case that the rabbit ate the grass? And
Wasn't it the case that he didn't, or the rabbit didn't eat the grass?
yeah,
Mike also said that perhaps the did you not hear the huelo could mark exasperation or a rhetorical question.
yeah. So that exists. I don't know how we need to write this into the grammar, but it exists and the examples are there. And that's something that we have and can do.
Nice.
Wasn't it the case the rabbit didn't eat the grass? Oh my goodness.
It is. That's a beautiful sentence.
And this is it's a direct quote from Lawyer Rabbit.
Now we need the word for lawyer.
Yeah. And then of course, whatever the person responds, they'll be in the wrong. Yes.
Right. Because if they say yes, then it's like, oh, so you're saying the rabbit didn't eat the grass? No. So you're saying you didn't know the rabbit didn't eat the grass? No matter what, didn't eat the grass. Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right.
Arturo says that maybe we should write huelo and where it comes from because apparently not everyone trusts our ability to remember from episodes.
I don't understand why. There's
It's not like we've never had a problem with
there's
that.
no instance of us ever forgetting anything on tape for others to see at any point in time. It's never happened.
Never.
Okay. This is no, I mean we need to get a little bit more in depth than that. Here.
I like that that's mine, and you're like, no, we're gonna write a whole thing, and you're
Yeah.
gonna format it too.
Well,
Don't take out lawyer rabbit, thank you.
no, of
I
course
was
not.
like, whatever you do. Oh, Alice H says your honorable fluff bun.
Willow is it's kind of contracted form of the second person perfect form of negation, form of the negative auxiliary. It's we before words that begin with a consonant. Lo is the infinitive of to hear. The word that gave us lice. Get it? And
I'll
so
take my little note out here,
by their
'cause that's
powers
weird.
combined, we have Willow. Willow, you did not hear. Flash, did you not hear? Okay.
And yeah, Matilda, right, Sawyer is a sweet term. It's just a name now. Although I would argue that I haven't seen the word here in almost a long time. Ooh, my dictionary didn't want to open.
No, it's not just found in lawyer and bowyer. It's also found in Sawyer. That's somebody
That's what Mateus listed that.
What? Oh, Sawyer
Mateus
is now
listed
obsolete.
Sawyer
You're right.
is
You're
now
right.
obsolete.
Okay, there's lawyer, bowyer, Sawyer, and there's one more.
So just a variant spelling of I-E-R. Ooh, a glazier. It's just a variant spelling,
Glacier. Hmm.
except it's spelled with an I there, glazier. Brigadier, cashier. So those are the same suffixes, just spelled with a Y and when there's a W in front of it.
I don't think that willow becomes willows before vowels. That would only happen via analogy because low is just the
Yeah,
infinitive.
low is infinitive.
Yeah. It does not become willows before vowels. Good. Okay.
We did it.
Good. Good, good,
We
good.
did it.
Yeah.
And it's 6:04, so
Yeah, we did some stuff.
about that time.
How many minutes did we lose to the the downtime? So I feel like
We didn't lose that much.
feel
The
like we
downtime. I like the.
we owe
Oh, a
everybody.
bowyer, by the way, is someone who makes bows, like archer
Mhm.
bows. And I say lawyer, but Sawyer. I say Sawyer. I had to think about it.
Sawyer.
Do you say it the same way?
Sawyer.
You say lawyer?
Lawyer.
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 I don't know. I think it depends on.
With an O, like a really like IPAO. Lawyer.
Lawyer.
Lawyer. Yeah.
I have to record myself not paying attention to myself speaking and then decide how I say it, because when I'm thinking about it, it just seems like a word that should never be said aloud.
Yeah. I mean, it might get a little lax. Lawyer, but it's more lawyer.
I say law.
Lar.
Just put it all in there. Law.
Lawyer.
Lingaya.
That makes me think of
Love it.
MacGyver. Oh man, you remember that episode of MacGyver? Where they would just do things like this. They would do the instant exposition, or like the magical backstory, where it's like there's just one episode of MacGyver, right? And he's sitting there, and for some reason there's some sort of a thing going on with a Formula One race car driver. And this is like many years into MacGyver. And then his buddy turns around him and say, "Hey MacGyver, You were one of the best race car drivers ever. Why did you ever quit? It's like, excuse me? Okay.
And there you have it.
And then he goes into a flashback about him being a race car driver because, of course, he used to be a race car driver.
He was everything.
Why not? I mean, he's no Jessica
Everything
Fletcher.
Everybody.
But he was somebody. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So, WH questions for the poll.
Yes. And no L's.
No L's.
They will be deleted mercilessly.
My gosh.
And Aquamelon, I say saw. I don't say saw, I say saw.
Yeah.
S-A-W, saw.
I see, said the blind man as he picked up his hammer and saw. Huh?
You're horrible. This is jokey, tired brain setting in. Okay, cool.
All right.
Well, we know the poll.
Yeah.
Patrons, you should have seen that all sorts of goodies were released, are being released,
Yeah.
etc. And happy July. Yay. And I think that's it. I'll be sure to go through and see if updating the descriptions helps on YouTube. I don't know if I want to mess with the titles of any of the videos because I don't want to mess with any sort of cataloging on the back end.
Yeah.
And maybe even try to do some sort of master list for our patrons that I could maybe a document I could update or something for like the patrons to be like, here's all the episodes, like in a table.
Yes. Tall like a giraffe.
Where'd that come from?
You know, like it's up, the list is so tall, and then the giraffe is eating the leaves of the list.
And so while I make that list, what David's going to do is draw some clip art to go beside it with a giraffe eating leaves from the top entries. And so that will be glorious, I'm sure.
All right, so yeah, now we're just gonna kind of leave this live stream open for the next week. You know, you'll just see us walking around our houses. You know,
Catch up, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's very exciting. But in the meantime, stay grammar, stay safe, stay cool. If it's hot where you are, it's hot here. And we'll see you
Indeed.
next week.
Receive into grammar.
Be received into grammar.
Okay, and then I'm.
Wear masks.
Yeah, and I think I see that we are actually to the point where we can stop. Nobody's going to get cut off.
I don't think so.
My
no.
computer isn't magically going to shut down. And so